What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of NFL Turf Talk. Today, we are previewing and breaking down the AFC East division. Is it the Buffalo Bills division to continue to run rampant through? Are they a true Super Bowl threat and contender, or will another young team, new quarterbacks, new head coaches, will they come through and surprise the Bills and give them a fight in this division? We're also going to rank these four teams along the rest of the NFL and add them to our NFL tier list, as we only have the East divisions left to add. And at the end, of course, we will do one of the more fun segments here, which is the divisional fantasy draft. So stay tuned for that towards the end of the show. We are not live here. We are recording. So if we do not answer your comments as you're watching this premiere, it's not because we're ignoring you. We're not seeing them. So, guys, first and foremost, make sure to check us out on Twitter at DSM_media. Hit that follow button. And then check out the link tree. It's in our bio. It'll take you to every social media platform we're on. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all that cool stuff. But more importantly, make sure to check out the YouTube links and hit that subscribe button, like the video, share it, friends, family, any other football fans that you may know of. My man Scotty, happy Thursday.
Yes, sir.
Happy birthday. And what is going on, my man?
Yes, sir. Happy Thursday. Appreciate it, my brother. Yeah, definitely happy to be here, man. I'm actually kind of frustrated this week, man. I was, I woke up this morning. I was like, why am I just not excited for the day off? You know what I mean? I was like, I got this whole week off, and it's just because, man, I need football. There's just nothing to look forward to. We get the Phillies tonight in the evening, and
you got college football tonight, brother.
You do got college football. You do got college football. That is a little bit better than what it's been. You know what else it is, man? It's because I know my weekend's gonna be busy. Saturday, right? I'm gonna be at the fucking beach, and all the great college football games are gonna be happening while I'm at the beach. They're not happening right now while I'm at home.
Listen. Depending on how early your day starts, I too will be down the beach. I can't get into our Airbnb until 3, so the boys are deciding we're going to hit the bar in Wildwood for the Texas-Ohio State game. So if you get down there early enough and you want to catch the first half of that game before hitting the beach, just let me know.
That's the conniption I'm running into, man.
Yeah.
That I guess that's the thing when you have these celebration, celebratory weeks or whatever. It keeps you busy, but then it's the little wholesome things. Last Saturday, my mom came up for my birthday, and she wants to go out and do stuff, and I feel that it's Saturday. Let's go out, and we went out on a nice hike. It's but I had to miss the Arsenal game to do that, and I look forward to that, the one game a week. It's kind of like the Eagles, right? Where you only get the Birds one day a week. I'm going to make sure that day is cleared because I need to watch that game. Arsenal, it's not as big. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing as big as Eagles game day, but no, I'm just joking. Main point here, we're almost to football season.
Yes,
we're
sir.
almost to the start. We're literally a week away from game 1 of the NFL regular season. So I am excited for that, and I'm sure the mood will get better as the day goes on, my man. I'm just joshing for the most part.
Yeah, okay, Mr.
Joshing. You like that? Josh Allen, joshing.
Jacoby
Myers, man, I did want to point that out. He requested a trade from the Las Vegas Raiders. The Bills?
Absolutely. And I think that's a good starting spot, man, because like I said to open the show, this is the team that's been running this division for the last X amount of years now, right? And they're the team went to an AFC Championship game last year against Kansas City, finally cracked through to get to that big moment, couldn't come up and beat Patrick and get to the Super Bowl. But they're one of those teams, right? Josh and the Bills, Lamar and the Ravens, Joe and the Bengals. Can they get past Patrick? It's his conference. And I look at this Bills roster this year, man, because they're in that tier, and we'll get to that in a little while as we load that graphic up. But I look at this roster, I look at this depth chart, and I just have questions because it makes me honestly, I don't know if I ever truly disrespected Josh Allen. If you remember, to start Turf Talk 2 years ago, I wasn't the biggest Josh Allen fan, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that was before the 2022 divisional round game against Mahomes where he went nuts, but turning the ball over constantly, coming up short in bigger moments, and he had all the hype. I look at this depth chart, and I feel like I'm disrespecting him because, dude, this wide receiver room stinks.
Yeah.
If out Khalil Shakir is your number one. Now, Keon Coleman's listed as your number two, the rookie from last year. If he takes a leap, maybe he turns into a wide receiver one in this league at some point with Josh. I don't know. I do like Keon Coleman, but you're looking at a combination of Khalil Shakir, Josh Palmer, Keon Coleman, Elijah Moore. Dude, it's just not good. James Cook, very nice running back. Dalton Kincaid, nice young tight end. But that's where the buck stops.
Yeah.
In terms of weapons offensively, man. Now we're going to get to defense. I'll let you take that over from there because I think that's where they kind of will be in that Super Bowl conversation when you have a quarterback like Josh and a stout defense. But the weapons offensively, I look at that and I just think if you were to they play the Ravens week 1. We'll see what that looks like early in the season. But you play the Ravens, you play Kansas City, you play the Eagles. Do you have enough to beat those true contenders?
It's interesting, man, and it is your point about Josh Allen is exactly why he does come ahead of guys like Jalen Hurts, right? Jalen Hurts, I bring him up. He's the classic example because we lobby for him because we have to.
Yeah.
And Josh Allen is one of the few, along with Mahomes. I teeter back and forth with Lamar. I teeter back and forth with Lamar because Lamar has talent. There's no void of talent on the Ravens. They have a great defense. He has a great running back. You've had a great tight end in Mark Andrews, who maybe is regressing now. You got Zay Flowers. You got D-Hop now. Like it goes on and on. Rashad Bateman, blah blah blah. And you could argue Zay Flowers. I don't know compared to Khalil Shakir. I mean,
Zay Flowers is better.
You can argue, exactly what I'm getting at. And then, going back to the Bills, going back to Josh Allen, that is one of the reasons that I do give him credit and place him above is because he's a ceiling raiser. He makes these guys better. He makes Khalil Shakir better. He makes Keon Coleman better. You look at Josh Palmer coming in, maybe he can be a good quality wide receiver on this team because Josh Allen makes guys better. Elijah Moore, he's obviously been around, right? He's a guy that was highly touted coming out of college, got quite a few opportunities at this point, hasn't turned into much, but maybe Josh Allen can make him better. But overall, this team is built around Josh Allen. It relies on his dual threat ability. It relies on him being able to escape pressure and get the ball down the field. And he's proven since losing or moving on from Stephon Diggs that he can operate just fine, if not better, without him. And I think that is a testament to Josh.
Last year as well.
Yeah, great point. He made Gabe Davis look like a quality wide receiver. A wide receiver too? Yeah. Like Gabe Davis, he can't even get on a roster now? Like, that's the type of ceiling raising that I believe Josh Allen can do. Then you go over to the defensive side of things, and it is interesting because they do have their staples like Ed Oliver. They added a Joey Bosa who, depending how you feel, maybe he's not the superstar Bosa that he once was for the Chargers, that that double-digit sack guy. But if he gives you 6, 7, 8 sacks this season, that's all you really need out of a guy like that. You put him
next to those two other studs on the line.
Exactly.
A new situation, a fresh start. You never know what you can get out of Joey Bosa, who's had, obviously, the injuries and playing with the Chargers that last X amount of years. But
no, and
Ed Oliver and Gregory Rousseau. For Joey Bosa
exactly.
In the last 2 years.
Two studs, and then you get to the linebacker core. They got a little bit of mix of like veterans with like Shaq Thompson, Matt Milano. Then you got Terrell Bernard, who is just the stud of the group. I really like what they have going on there. Then you get to the secondary. That's where you got to kind of trust the process a little bit, right? You bring back Tre'Davious White, who was a household name. Moved on, didn't have very much success, right? I think he was with the Ravens last year.
I can't remember.
I cannot remember. Maybe throw the Ravens out. That might not be right. I can't remember, man. I remember he did not make it, though. Like, he was not a starter for that team.
No.
And there was questions around him being washed. He comes back here. He's a lot more comfortable. They got some youth in there at the cornerback spot. They brought back DeMar Hamlin, Taylor Rapp.
He played for the Rams and the Ravens last year.
Rams and the Ravens. Okay, so yes. I wasn't completely off there. So the fact that he split time between two teams speaks for itself. So I think they're in a very similar spot. I think they kind of cut off a little bit of the waste or the fat, if you want to call it that. Von Miller, not necessarily that prolific edge rusher at this point. You get guys like Amari Cooper out of there. I did hear from him. He apparently feels like he can be a good addition to the Raiders, so we'll see where it goes for him. But wasn't doing much for this roster last season.
What do you not to get off topic from the Bills, man? But like, what Amari Cooper's a Raider again. Adam Thielen's a Viking again.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen's a Charger again. Like, am I in 2016?
Homecomings, right? It is weird. Like, and then you take it to a lesser scale, and like Tre'Davious White, who we just mentioned back at the Bills, Marcus Epps back to the Eagles, right, from that Super Bowl team. So it is very interesting to see. But it makes sense, right? Like, guys find places they're comfortable. I think even Jordan Poyer, he went to Miami, and then is he back with?
No, I don't think he's back with Buffalo. I think
he's not back with Buffalo. You're right. Yeah.
Is he in Tampa Bay or something? He's either in Miami again or I don't know. I forget where Jordan Poyer is. But,
yeah, maybe Jordan Poyer is not a good example, but yeah, nonetheless, homecomings, guys going where they're comfortable. It is interesting.
But Mike Vrabel. Interesting to me that New England's new head coach in this division. But you bring up the secondary and, trusting the process, because Tre'Davious White obviously moves on, not the household name he was in Buffalo 2, 3, 4 years ago. Yeah. He has had injury concerns. And then you look around the rest of the secondary and you're like, okay. It just makes me question what Buffalo exactly is, because they are going to be spoken about like a Super Bowl contender, like one of the 5-6 teams that you could see winning it all, right? But we already talked about the lack of help and weapons offensively for Josh. Then you get defensively. Let me ask you this. Just in the AFC, not even counting teams that they could meet in a Super Bowl potentially in the NFC, just in the AFC, is that defense better than the Ravens?
No.
Is that defense better than the Pittsburgh Steelers?
No.
Is that defense better? Is it better than the Chiefs? Probably not.
No. Yeah, no. I'm sorry. Can we pause this really quick?
Yeah. All right, we're back. And we got through the Chiefs defense, Scotty. And I said basically the Bills wide receiver room, that offense, the lack of skill there on paper right now, that doesn't seem good enough to me. Then we get to the secondary of the defense, and when you rank it above, when you rank them against the Ravens, even the Steelers in the AFC North, you rank them against the Chiefs, who have been there, done that for many, many years now. They're not better units than those who are their direct competition to getting to a Super Bowl. They're not a better defense than the Philadelphia Eagles out here. They're, and you get past the Eagles. I mean, we could talk about a young Rams team if they were to potentially get there, but so they're not a top 5 defensive unit. Their skill position lacks on offense. I just question the ceiling of this Bills team roster construction wise. Like, we know that they're going to be one of the 3 teams in the AFC everyone's talking about. The Ravens, the Chiefs, the Bills. Who's going to get it done, right?
Yeah.
They would be 3rd to me.
Yeah, just from a talent standpoint, yes. Yeah. I do want to throw that back to you, because we talked about it previously. Lamar versus Josh Allen and who you trust more in the postseason. Yeah, so that it kind of evens it out a little bit from that standpoint. If we are weighing Josh over Lamar, I think we agree there. The other thing I was going to point out, they tried to address the corner spot with, I believe it's Maxwell Harrison, the corner out of Kentucky. I believe he was a first-round pick. He's going to be out the first 4 weeks, so going to take him a little bit to get acclimated. That's a guy that they can look forward to. It's top-end talent that they can add to the roster. But like I said, I think I made a case about this for one of the teams from our last division we did. But sometimes when you cut off that excess fat or that, those older veterans that, you give them the credit for the veteran experience, but maybe they're just not given as much as they should be at this point for the role that they're given within the team. So I think moving on from guys like Amari Cooper, moving on from guys like Von Miller, that could maybe help them out in the long run. Sure. Josh is going to keep them in contention, though. I think that's what we're saying here.
Well, I'll tell you what. If the Buffalo Bills win anywhere from 12 to 14 games and they're a top 2 seed in the AFC, and they're making a run at a Super Bowl. Josh Allen, without a doubt, is the MVP of the National Football League. There will not be a discussion for me. So that's what I'll say about the Buffalo Bills. They're in that conversation. When we get to the tiers, you'll see where they're placed. I question if they are like one of the lower level top tier teams, if that makes sense on paper. Moving forward, a team I'm pretty sure, I don't want to jump the gun. We've had discussions. You've been a little secretive about this team where, your thoughts on them. The New England Patriots. You mentioned Mike Vrabel coming home. He's the new head coach. Drake May, year 2. They go out, they draft Trevion Henderson to go with Ramondre Stevenson. They go out, they get a Stephon Diggs, whatever he is age-wise at this point, I don't know. He's no longer, I don't think, on a yacht with Cardi B with some stuff out on the table. But they've always been a defensive team, Scotty. And Kyle Duggar's here to stay. And Christian Gonzalez is locked down. And Carlton Davis is there, and Harold Landry, and they signed Milton Williams for $100 million for that Super Bowl performance, and Christian Barmore, and they bring in a guy like Frabes, who's defensive-minded, a former defensive player on Super Bowl championship teams. What is the ceiling of this New England Patriots team this year?
Yeah, man. You're right. I've been hinting at this for a while now, and this is my sleeper going into this season. I don't even know if you can call them a sleeper at this point. They've been getting quite the hype over the last few weeks. I think people are really, really high on Drake May and what they're building around them. You mentioned like the defensive line additions. They also added Morgan Moses. You mentioned that, I believe, the tackle. They added, I don't want to get his first name wrong, Garrett Bradbury, the center. I believe he was on I believe it was the Vikings. Why do we not have his it's not showing me previous teams for some reason. Yeah, it was the Vikings. Yeah, I was pretty sure he's been an all-pro center for the Minnesota Vikings for a long time now. They ultimately pick him up in free agency. They also added Campbell, the rookie tackle in the draft, the first-round pick. You mentioned the additions of Milton Williams, Harold Landry from the previous team of Mike Vrabel, right? That defense down there shows how much he liked him. He followed him up. Milton Williams, we obviously know what he's about, coming from the Birds in that Super Bowl defensive line. I just think that they're building things the right way, and that's through the trenches there in New England. You have Vrabel, as you mentioned, as the defensive-minded coach, but then you're balancing things out to the point now where this is looking like a ground and pound defensive run first type of football team that does have a young quarterback. Give him the right setting, he will be able to do some things. So I think they're going to be able to work in a ton of play action for him to make Drake May's life easy. You got Ramondre Stevenson there. They added Trayvon Henderson in the draft. I think they're set it. They're doing it the right way compared to the other teams in the division, if that makes sense. We look at the Dolphins, and they're this like high flying offense with Mike McDaniel and Achane and Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, and shit just doesn't look so sweet down there. We'll get to them, right? And then you go to the Jets. They tried the Aaron Rodgers thing, right? They got the nice toys on defense with Sauce Gardner and company. And it just hasn't worked out. Whereas, like, the Patriots, I feel like they're going out. You're getting Mike Vrabel. Yeah. He obviously is a Hall of Fame player for you already, but went down to Tennessee, got his coaching experience, had some success down there. He's a quality head coach, in my opinion, that they're bringing in.
And I think the biggest thing about Vrabes is I think he's a culture builder. I think that's what they're looking for, especially with the young quarterback in
there it is.
And they have young pieces defensively. I think he's a culture builder.
That.
I think he did it a little bit in Tennessee. Tennessee's management making the A.J. Brown trade. Will Levis obviously didn't quite work out. Just a lot of different issues roster-wise down in Tennessee, talent-wise, that things weren't just going to work out in the latter years of Vrabel being down there. They, New England, they are keeping it in-house. That's the one question you have, right? So it's like it's Flyers-esque for my NHL people out there.
Yeah.
Just with the, but that's GMs and head coaches of just recycling former players. So they move on from Belichick, and here comes Gerard Mayo, a former linebacker, right? And obviously things did not work out for New England last year. They quickly pivot and move off of that. This guy's different, though, because like you mentioned, he's got that experience for many, many years down there. And I think he's going to build that old New England culture, that defensive-minded culture. Mayo was a defensive guy, so obviously he was coming in defensive-minded, not to that level, right? No experience.
Exactly.
And then when you have a guy like Drake May, who people have very, very high expectations for, you go out and get him, yes, an aging Stephon Diggs, but still a Stephon Diggs. You have two quality running backs, one older, one obviously a rookie in Henderson. It is going to be interesting to see what New England can do this year, man, because, look, 7 wins is probably a quality season for them. 7-10 is probably fine for them this year. Could they exceed it? Could they be 8-9, 9-8? They're not getting above 9-8. Like that would be. I haven't even looked at their schedule. I could not foresee New England going 10-7 or better. 9-8 would be the cap. I think that's even unrealistic. I think they're around 7-10 probably this year.
I think their ceiling for me is second in this division. Ultimately, that's where I cap them.
But is that? Let me ask you this though: that could still be like 6-7 wins, and you're second in this division because of what the next two teams are providing.
It could for sure. I do just want to look at their schedule really quick because they should have the 4th place schedule. So Raiders, Dolphins, Steelers, Panthers, first 4, for example.
It's not the easiest in the world.
Bills, Saints, Titans, Browns, Falcons, Bucks, Jets, Bengals, Giants, Bills.
It's not the easiest schedule in the world, but they have an opening where you have New Orleans, Tennessee, Cleveland, Atlanta at home.
Yeah.
Where you can run the table there in the middle of this schedule.
Are they better than teams like the Raiders? Can they beat the Dolphins? Can they beat the Jets, right? Like those are the questions they're going to have to answer ultimately. I just think when I look at this team, I shouldn't say the only concern. Like the only concern I have in them not fulfilling like a second place type of path this year in the AFC East is just the inexperience of the group together, right? Like you have 3 out of 5 starting offensive linemen that are completely new. You have a new running back in the backfield mixed in with 2 running backs that have been there. Of course, you have a new wide receiver 1 coming in. So like you're going to have to get all of these things meshing together for sure. But I think when you look at like what could be a calling card, running the football, play action pass, and then just a sturdy defense. You got Christian Gonzalez in that secondary leading the way.
Which is so ironic, bro, because another
I just like
sleeperish
the formula. I like the formula.
Another sleeperish team that's probably going to be very similar to that formula that you just described for New England. They match up with week 1. If you took me back 4 months, I never in a million years would have said Patriots Raiders. That's a pretty good week 1 matchup.
Yeah,
it's a pretty good week 1 matchup.
It is. It's a good gauge for both teams, quite honestly, just to see where they're at. Like at the end of the day, going into this season, do you take Geno Smith over Drake May? Like, yeah, I think obviously off their past experience, but this would be the season Drake May shows you that you take him over Geno Smith per se. Maybe I'm not saying that's gonna happen. I'm just saying if he's the guy that the Pat think he is, then that should happen. There should be no question whether or not he's better than Geno Smith, right? So, I am fairly high on them. But to your point, I mean, there's another team in the division that has a similar formula. That's the Jets, right? The defense running the football.
Yeah.
It's just, and they implement it.
It's a good segue because, again, I know I keep teasing the tier list that we're going to pull up. This is another team that I've contemplated if we put just a step too high and maybe they should be in the worst category. And I say that because of this. Look, that defense on paper, the youth of it all, a Will McDonald, a Quinnen Williams, in the back end with a Sauce Gardner, a Quincy Williams, they are loaded with talent and they are young defensively.
Yeah.
They have a Garrett Wilson. They have a Breece Hall on offense, but they had all that stuff last year. Yeah. And I know it didn't work out, and I know Rodgers wasn't playing well, and we'll see what he looks like in Pittsburgh. But Justin Fields ain't an upgrade, brother. And by all accounts, this is just Twitter. That's my accounts. I mean, what I see on Twitter and what I read on Twitter. But by all accounts, they can't throw the football at practice. Justin Fields is struggling to complete passes in practice in training camp. Now, maybe that's a testament to the defense, or maybe, just maybe, this offense has the potential to be one of the worst in the league. Because if you couldn't run the football with Breece Hall, with Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams on the outside last year, I don't know how you're going to run the ball effectively behind that line with just Garrett Wilson this year. Now, Justin Fields brings in a counterpoint to that, because he can obviously keep it and use his legs and be a dual threat, and they could implement the read option. Yeah. But you brought in a defensive-minded head coach and a former defense coordinator in Aaron Glenn. So where's that attention go to? The defensive side of the ball, which maybe rightfully so. Like, you just have to perfect what your strongest suit is, and that is your defense. Maybe that's what they're going for. Yeah. But my man, this offense could stink this year.
Yeah, absolutely it could. And I think, to your point about Aaron Rodgers, that offensive line, man, if they can't protect Justin Fields, it's going to be the same exact thing. I know Justin Fields has his legs, but if you're trying to run the football and your offensive line can't block,
got carted off in training camp.
Yeah, and the fact that you're saying they can't pass the ball at practice, like, I think in a perfect world, right, people look at Justin Fields in this vacuum of, like, mobile dual threat quarterback.
I've never been a fan of him.
I know, but I think when you start to think of like optimism, right, and trying to be optimistic with the quarterback position, it's happened in Pittsburgh, it's happened in Chicago, and now it's happening with the New York Jets. And in this perfect world, you hope that Justin Fields can be a Jalen Hurts, maybe not necessarily like a run first, but he uses his legs fairly often, or Lamar, Josh Allen, whatever the case may be when you think of dual threat quarterbacks. And this guy just is not it, man. He can't throw the football. So I look at it very similarly as like what we looked at with the Colts in a sense, right? With Anthony Richardson and his struggles and being the high draft pick that these guys are. I view it very similarly, man. I think there's a world where if you perfect that offense in the dual threat manner and you get Breece Hall going and he has a career year and you can get a little bit of that Ohio State connection between Fields and Wilson to make him comfortable getting him the ball. You get Mason Taylor, in that tight end spot, a rookie, a receiving tight end. In a perfect world, maybe if that defense is just steamrolling, right? They're locking shit down.
They weren't last year.
And when there's no balance, it makes things so hard, man. So I want the Jets to be successful with Breece Hall. I want Garrett Wilson to be that number one wide receiver and be the star that he is, man. We know he's got talent. But I just can't put the optimism or my belief into Justin Fields again, man. I thought with the Steelers, maybe. You know what I mean? Like maybe he could do something dual threat. No, man, it's not there.
Though, like you mentioned, Anthony Richardson being given up on, and I don't disagree with the Colts. Like if they didn't see it, it's not there. And
against Daniel Jones,
years to back it up, right? Like I'm not like no one is discrediting the fact that he should be starting. But like, how many shots do you get if you're Justin Fields? Because if we're being honest, as bad as Anthony Richardson has been over the last 2 years in the games he's played, the man literally tapped his helmet and took himself out of the game in the middle of a game last year because he was wounded. His arm is better than Justin Fields. I mean, like completion percentage, no. But like pushing the ball down the field, yeah. I've never been a fan of Justin Fields' game. Because if you're going to be considered a dual threat, like his game is perfect for college football. In college football,
exactly.
You can be a run-first quarterback that really can't throw the ball, and your offense can still be electric against those defenses with the rushing attack. All you're throwing, dude. How many guys? NC State's quarterback a couple years. How many guys just throw screen passes and run? That's it.
Yeah.
Like they don't. There's college D1 offenses that don't throw the ball down the field, and they still score 30+ points a game. He can't throw the football. He is not. I know you were saying in a perfect world, but I can answer everybody's question for that. In a perfect world, he is not Jalen Hurts. He is not Lamar Jackson. He is not Josh Allen. He's nowhere even fucking close to the three of them. He can't throw the ball. They are going to struggle mightily.
Could he have Could he have a Bo Nix season?
No.
I'm just asking. I'm not saying he would. I'm just asking. Because when you're talking, I think of Bo Nix. Like, that's kind of what I felt about Bo Nix when he was coming out of college, but he was able to have success with Sean Payton last year in Broncos. So, it's kind of changed my mind on him a little bit. We got to see what he looks like in the sophomore year, but it looked decent to good in the rookie season.
Yeah, they were a playoff team.
I'm looking at the games where Justin Fields started last year. He started basically from Atlanta all the way to Las Vegas on October 13th, and then I guess Russell Wilson got the nod after that. Maybe it was injury. I don't remember what was going on there.
I forget he played 3 games.
Started the season 156 passing yards, 117 passing yards, 245 passing yards against the Chargers. 312 passing yards against the Colts, 131 against Dallas, 145 against Vegas.
Yep.
The consistency or lack thereof, I guess you would just call it inconsistency, is the problem there, because you see what it could be. 22 for 34, 312 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, 2 rushing touchdowns.
And here's the thing. When you look at the 130, the 140s, hell, even the 170 game, that's not because his team is running the ball down the opponent's throat, and he's only throwing 17 attempts like in Philly. Because that was the standard last year, right? When it came to Jalen, and Jalen can't throw for 250 yards. The offense stinks.
Yeah,
this dude's throwing for 130, and they're not great at something else.
Yeah,
they're not winning football games by doing that. It's not the formula they're looking for. That's the problem.
Yeah,
for Justin Fields.
And he's
throwing for 150 yards. He's trying to throw the ball.
Yeah. It was very painful to watch the Steelers at times when he was playing quarterback last year, man, because I think it was a little bit of them being conservative, but are you just being that conservative because he cannot throw the football?
They see him every day during the week, man. The Jets have seen him all summer long. They know what he's capable or not capable of doing. So how they operate that offense is going to be interesting.
He played with Garrett Wilson at Ohio State, right?
Yes. Yeah, I believe so.
Had to have, right? So you would think they would have a connection or something, man. I don't know.
Speaking of offense, the fourth and final team in this division.
Yeah. The
Miami Dolphins.
These bum-ass motherfuckers, man.
Which, funny enough, I'm pretty sure they're my favorite bet of week 1. They are.
I'm sicing it up, man. I'm sicing it up. They're not a bum-ass team, man. I think they're just... They've been overrated the last couple years, and they just go through the same rerun every single season. They start hot, offense rolling. They get maybe a few big wins at the beginning of the season when it's warm out.
They do. I mean, I remember they beat Lamar and the Ravens
in
a shootout 2 years ago. Oh yeah, but no.
Once it gets cold out.
So here's the thing: they're plus money against the Colts and Daniel Jones week 1. That's why there might be my favorite bet of the year. But here's why when you say bum, maybe they're not terrible this year, but they are going to be worse than in years past, even with a healthy offense and a healthy Tua. And here's why. That defense, although lazy, although didn't want to learn under Vic Fangio because he was too tough and too old school, that defense is not the same. Look at the back end of this defense, Scotty.
Yeah.
Rasul Douglas, former Eagles, fine. He's been bounced around. He's fine. Ashton Davis, Minka Fitzpatrick, always been a stud. Storm
Duck. Hell of a name. Wow.
And Jason Marshall Jr. I know of Minka Fitzpatrick and a middle-of-the-pack Rasul Douglas. That's all I know. You moved on from a Jalen Ramsey. That defense is not going to be the same, bro. You have Chop Robinson. You have Bradley Chubb off the edge. And then the one Phillips kid, Jalen Phillips, right?
Yeah.
Tyrell Dodson, Benito Jones, Zach Sealer.
I thought it was Jalen Phillips as well. But no, it says Jordan Phillips here. I don't know.
There's two.
Oh, Jalen. Oh, yeah. My bad. I was looking down the list.
That defense is going to be nowhere near it needs to be. And we know this offense can be explosive. And hell, that's what I'm counting on week 1. I'm hoping the Dolphins go and score 34 points against the Colts week 1.
Let me ask you this, man. Can this defense compete in this division? And I say that we've talked about, these other offenses. It's like, yes, Josh Allen in the Bills, like Josh Allen. Justin Fields can't throw the football. Drake May is a, second-year player with not the greatest wide receiving group, right? Not the greatest receiving group in general.
Can they survive a lackluster division to get them into into second place or something like that?
They'll have a decent pass rush. They have a playmaker.
The problem with that is, even if you come in second place in the AFC East this year and you outlast New England, the Jets again, what does that mean? Yeah. Because they're not a playoff team. So congratulations.
Yeah.
You could go 8-9, you can go 9-8. You might go 10-7 for all I care. If it ain't good enough to get you to the dance, all you're doing is making yourself a middle of the pack draft pick in 2026. And I think that's what they are. I think they are right in, slightly below average to average. And you have the questions of, should Tua Tagovailoa even be playing football anymore? And it ain't my business, and it ain't nobody else's business but his and his family's. So if he wants to play, the people out there, the Twitter warriors, they're like, oh my God, what are they doing? He's going to play. It ain't your problem. But one more time, bro, and things are going to start to get scary. And you have an aging Tyreek Hill who's had back-to-back down years since he's come to Miami, who
requested a trade
right now.
He did request a trade.
You have a guy in Devon Achane who is seemingly ready to take the reins, has an injury history. You traded Raheem Mostert, or Raheam Mostert left in the offseason.
Bro,
he's not there no more.
I read this.
Just Achane.
I read this report about Achane. And I didn't read a report. I watched this video regarding Achane's minor injury in the preseason, and they were kind of comparing it to, I think it was Chris Godwin, but basically saying this injury is minor. If they push him past his limit on this injury, it can turn into a torn Achilles. This is not what you want to hear with your RB1. He is a stud. Don't get me wrong. He's a stud when he's healthy, but he does have those injury concerns.
Score 15 touchdowns behind him anymore.
Exactly. And so, you pointed out Tyreek Hill, man. What is Jalen Waddle really? What is he?
Apparently, Darren Waller's not rapping anymore. He's on this roster now.
He's on the roster, too, in Miami. That just doesn't even sound like a good mix. I don't know. You know what it is? I guess that's why I said these bum-ass motherfuckers. It's not that they're bum-ass. It's like you said, they'll be middle of the pack. I just can't take them serious. These guys are not going to get serious in December. And get ready for the postseason.
They are the definition of a Miami team.
Exactly.
They are the complete opposite of an Eric Spoelstra-led Heat culture, grinded out defense, work hard, work ethic, all that shit. When the report leaked when Vic Fangio was there, that they didn't want to play under Vic Fangio because he was too tough. And then Vic comes here and takes rookies to a Super Bowl and gets the number one defense in the NFL last year. That tells you all you need to know about the character on that defense. You get to the offense. Tyreek Hill's Tyreek Hill. Darren Waller's here now. Jalen Waddle. Everyone used to want to say Jalen Waddle is better than Devontae Smith. Those two always clashed as the wide receiver twos, the best wide receiver twos in the NFL. That shit ain't close. You can argue with the wall behind me because that is not close anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
They are the definition of a Miami football team, brother. They will have some fun on offense. They ain't gonna work all that hard.
No, not at all.
And their defense is gonna be lazy and stink.
Mike McDaniel, man. He's on his way out of there, right?
He better be, bro. He better be. He better be.
He's not this offensive wizard that everybody was talking about, man.
Also, for the umpteenth time, man, especially being an Eagles fan and seeing how important it is and seeing a GM like Howie Roseman take care of this position time and time again, when are you going to learn how important a backup quarterback spot is in this league, especially with who you have in the number one?
It's so weird. They have the worst quarterback room. It's so
Zach
weird.
Wilson this year. Zach Wilson.
Weird, man.
I mean, who was playing in the playoffs for them? Was it Skylar Thompson? Was he playing in a playoff game for them last year or 2 years ago?
Skylar Thompson, right?
It's been a couple different guys, but regardless, it's arguably the worst backup quarterback in the National Football League. And your answer to Tua having 900 concussions and not being able to stay on a field all year is to go out and get Zach Wilson as your backup.
Yeah. Why didn't they draft Shedeur Sanders? Why didn't they draft Dylan Gabriel? Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't understand.
They are a joke of an organization, bro.
Bring in Zach Wilson, a guy that has shown that he cannot make it mentally in the NFL. Like, it's as simple as that, regardless of talent.
And he's the backup, bro. To start, Zach Wilson's going to be drunk and putting stuff up his nose half the year in Miami. Just tell me how it is.
It's just the Miami thing. God, he's gonna be the shit down there.
I mean, the kid. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is the same Zach Wilson that slept with his friend's mom or something, right? Or his mom's friend, whatever it was.
That was him. Yes.
So, yeah.
Interesting.
It's gonna work out well
not serious team. Not serious team.
Very
right
unserious. There. With that said, let's get to the tiers because, man, I've been thinking about knocking a couple of these teams down a peg.
As we talk through them.
We talked about it. As you can see, added to the list in the AFC East, we had the Buffalo Bills up at the top tier under the Super Bowl champs. To me, they're very close to just being a playoff contender because of the lack of talent on the wide receiver room, the secondary. Like, are they true Super Bowl champion contenders? But they've been in that conversation for the last 5 years. They have given Patrick the toughest test in the AFC for the most part. And Josh is there, and they went to the AFC Championship game last year. So I'll put them up there for this year as well.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
When you look at the playoff contenders below them, is there any team that you would definitively pick against them in the postseason?
See, that's the thing. No. Okay. The only team that I am somewhat hopeful for, but I fell in the same trap each of the last 2 years with the Jets, is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because if you get an Aaron Rodgers that is somewhat capable with a DK Metcalf there this year, and that defense has the talent to be the best defense in the world this year, then that's a team that could be a tough out for anyone. It's all going to come down to what the 40-year-old quarterback can do at this point of his career. So that's outside of that,
similar
Tampa,
with the
no,
Rams.
I ain't taking them. CJ, no. JJ McCarthy, no. The Bengals defense, no. We're being very nice to the Bengals, by the way, putting them there. That's only because of Joe Burrow and the offense. Green Bay, no. I'm tired of hearing people talk about them. Mike Tannenbaum is how he's employed at ESPN and been covering this sport. It drives me nuts. Seattle, Sam Darnold, no. The Rams are an interesting team. I think the Rams would be the closest. The Rams and the Steelers would be the two closest.
Stafford. It's not the same as the Steelers because I think we know Stafford can still ball. I think with Aaron Rodgers, we don't know for sure that Aaron Rodgers can still ball. It's the health with Matthew Stafford on the other end, 37-year-old. So.
Correct.
The Rams, I agree. The Steelers and the Rams, those are the two teams out of that group.
Yeah. Then you get to the no man's land, and that's where we put the Miami Dolphins because they're not going to stink. Their schedule within that division, the offense, as long as if Tua is out and it's Zach Wilson, they could be the worst team in the National Football League this year. But if he's healthy, which is all we can say and all we can go off of, they're in no man's land. I don't like their direction. I don't like what the franchise, what the organization and management has done the last couple of years. I think they're soft. So that's where they are. Then we get to better than last year. And this is where, as we were talking through one of the teams, I was a little hesitant. The Patriots, I'm cool with being there. I don't think I'm ready to say the Patriots are playoff contenders this year. Could they surprise everyone? Yes. I don't think they're there. They will definitely be better than last year and fighting for the 2 spot in the AFC East. The Jets. Put them better than last year because they won 4 games last year or something?
They won
5 games last year. You got to think the defense bounces back. But with everything else, man, you're not better without Devontae Adams. You traded for Devontae Adams to go with Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. You moved on from Devontae Adams. You're not better. I don't care what happened last year. Justin Fields at quarterback is just not a better option. Sorry. So if I could move a team out of the 4, I would keep the Bills and Super Bowl champs, and I would put the New York Jets in stinks, potentially. So we'll see. We'll see, man.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I feel that. I think with 5 wins, it's they should be better, but I don't know, man. I'm kind of just thinking. I guess with the Dolphins in no man's land, they could end up as the worst in the division. They could end up in 4th.
Potentially. If
Because I'm
Tua is
just
healthy,
thinking.
no. If Tua is healthy, I think they'll win enough games not to do that.
I'm just thinking like Jets and Pats. If they're both better than last year, you know what I mean? Like what that would.
Yeah,
put
but
the
what's
Jets
better?
at 6
What's better
wins.
than last year for the Jets? 6-11.
Yeah, and the Patriots would be 5 or 6.
Right, right. So it'll be interesting to see, man. This division, I'm going to be honest, like it's my least interested division in all of the National Football League. The AFC South's close. The AFC South and this are very close.
The NFC South too, man.
Yeah, you're right.
NFC
You're right.
South.
But like,
That's
like,
disgusting.
I'll put it this way: if Vrabel and Drake May weren't in New England, this division would be on the same tier because you have the clear number 1, and then you have 3 teams that are going to stink. So,
yeah, I think that's fair. That's fair. Because I think the Pats give me just a little bit of excitement. Like I'm going to keep my eye on them. You know what I mean? I guess that's where I'm at. But I do view them over the Dolphins and the Jets, though. To be clear, I don't know. I just seems like they maybe it's the history too. You know, maybe that's what gives the benefit of doubt to them over like the Jets and the Dolphins per se, right? I've seen this road show with the Dolphins and Jets. They've been trying to take off the last couple seasons, and it's just not working, man. What they have in place is not working.
I agree.
I guess at least the Jets tried something new, but I think that's my thing with the Jets is like I feel like they should have went with like maybe an offensive minded head
Right.
coach.
Like I said, I mean, the only thing you can look at is that they're just really trying to strengthen their greatest strength. And if they can be a top 5 unit somehow under Aaron Glenn, then maybe you have a chance to be in every football game and you never know what happens. So that's the only way I can kind of look at it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let's get to the fantasy draft
portion
of the show. Who went first on the last one? It's going to be a big question here. What was the last episode we did? The NFC West? Because I had the draft written down, but I cannot remember who went first.
NFC West.
I just don't know who you took first versus me.
Did I
take CMC first? Or did you take Nick Bosa first?
No, Nick Bosa was late. He was late.
Oh, that's right. We forgot about him because the Niners depth chart wasn't up there.
But I remember I think I took someone and then you took Fred Warner.
Yeah.
Because I was like, damn.
Did you take Puka first?
Did I? Did I take Puka? I was thinking either Puka or McBride.
No, it wasn't McBride because Kittle and McBride, we were kind of back and forth on.
Okay, yeah. So maybe
well, I'll let you go first. I have no idea.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm like stumped here.
No idea.
I mean, yeah, if you're gonna let me go first, man.
Let me just write down Justin Fields for you.
I think I'm gonna go with that guy up in Buffalo, bro.
It's probably a good idea, Josh. Yeah.
The MVP, I think he was.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. All right, I'll go with Sauce Gardner.
That's actually a really good one. Let me go ahead and take let me get Christian Gonzalez.
I was trying to sneak him by.
It's like, who is the other lockdown corner in this division?
That throws a wrench in my plan. All right, let me go ahead. There's actually a decent amount of guys up front in this division. Just going to go ahead and take my favorite. I'm going to go ahead and take Quinnen Williams.
Nice. Very nice.
They didn't have the season last year that I was expecting. He only had like 6 sacks, but the whole defense wasn't good.
I think I'm going to go with Minka.
It's a good pick. All right. Let me go ahead and take. Yeah, he's still the best. I want to go ahead and take Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, he is the best. I was looking at that earlier. It's like going back and forth. Let me take Garrett Wilson.
God damn it, bro! Stay away from me. I'm trying to double up on one of these positions.
I know you are. I figured that.
Not going there. Which one do I want more? My computer will load so I can look at the stats.
Who's the best running back in this division?
I know. I'm just kind of letting you. Well, I'm just kind of waiting to see how it plays out because I was gonna say James Cook, but then I was like, oh, that's because they're showing me preseason stats. No shit. So. This pissed me off. 2024, he had, okay, bang, that's 1. It's a very important pick to me. 1 second.
I'm curious where you're going.
I'm going to take Gregory Rousseau.
I like it.
I was between him and Ed Oliver. I wasn't sure who I liked more.
Yeah, I was looking at Ed Oliver myself earlier. I'm gonna go ahead and take Harold Landry. He is listed as a linebacker.
Yeah.
Had 9 sacks last year. I know he's a little bit older, but
all right. I'm going to go. I'm not going to the Dolphins. You know what? I'm going to go with Carlton Davis.
Yeah, I'm looking around and I think he might be the second best.
Yeah, I was looking at Michael Carter with the Jets, and I was looking at you could wind back the clock and go with Tre'Davious White, but
yeah, for like name value.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and grab my boy Milton Williams. Let's have a breakout season this year, Milt. Maybe that's where some of the bias comes from too with the Patriots.
That's true. I'm going to take let's take Stephon Diggs.
Nice. Trying to think, the running backs is like too close. It's like there isn't really an advantage. I look at them all very similarly. Let me just take Ed Oliver as my other D lineman. You took Russo, right? I'm not right.
Yes.
Right? Am I right? Okay. Making sure.
All right. I'm going to take Terrell Bernard.
Nice. He's sturdy. I guess I'll take Dalton Kincaid.
Oh, God damn it. Scotty, you've been a pain in my ass this draft.
Is that where you were going next?
Yeah, dude, I thought I could get away with it. All right, moving forward. Damn, do I take... Do I take the idea of someone and what he should be? Or do I take numbers?
Curious which is which.
Breece Hall or James Cook?
Yeah, interesting.
I mean, A-Chain has...
Breece Hall is more my type, if that makes sense.
Yeah, me too. And, last year he was, projected like top 5 fantasy pick. And then they just... Braylon Allen was on the field just as much as he was.
With no quarterback, it makes it hard, right? To be transparent with you, I would take Breece Hall.
Yeah, I know.
Probably, but it is close.
Give me James Cook over Breece Hall, I think is the move. A-Chain, I feel like I'm disrespecting, but even you can get to Ramondre Stevenson and the rookie in Henderson, and you could have the running backs are pretty good in this.
Yeah, it's a pretty sturdy group.
I'll take Cook for the numbers. Get him away from you having Josh.
Fair enough. Yeah, Josh and Josh and Cook, they're a hell of a duo there. I think we're I don't think we're picking against each other anymore.
No, I think here.
I'll go ahead. I'll take Tre'Davious White. We'll go with the name value.
All right. Should I just take Storm Duck? Nah, I'll take
for name value.
Yeah. Because I know Kyle Duggar. Kyle Duggar's a dog, ain't he? I know they were talking about trading him, but he's staying with the team. But
yeah,
or is Peppers better?
I feel like Jabril Peppers is he's this polarizing player. Some people think he's good. Some people think he's not, trash. I think Kyle Duggar is the more consistent.
He's got 2 picks in the preseason. What do you have last year? So I'm trying to look at.
1 sack, 0 picks.
No picks for the kid last year? God damn it, Kyle.
He had 81 tackles. He only played 13 games last year, though. The year before that, 17 games, 1.5 sacks, forced fumble.
You know what? Breakout year. Rome was being traded. I'll take Kyle Duggar.
Yeah. Solid pick. I'll go with Jalen Waddle.
All right. I will go with Hunter Henry or the rapper. See, because the thing is, if Darren Waller can still run routes, Darren Waller's the better tight end.
Yeah.
I'll take Darren Waller. I'll take a flyer.
No love for the rookie? I think it's just a quarterback situation there. It's just
Fuck that rookie, dude.
No development gonna happen for Mason Taylor with Justin Fields, that's for sure. Okay, so I will go with Breece Hall then.
All right, and I will take Justin Fields. No, I'm just kidding. I'll take Drake May to wrap up.
Yeah, that's interesting. Drake May over Tua.
Yeah, bro. I want my guy to play all year.
Fair. It's interesting. I'm interested to see where the Drake May conversation goes, because I'll be honest, I don't know a ton about him. I didn't want to watch a ton of Patriots football last year. I just see how high Patriots fans are on him online. I see some of the analysts on TV as well talking very highly of them. we'll see. We'll see where the conversation goes, man. Solid teams,
fun, man.
Solid teams.
That was division number 7 out of 8. We wrap up this divisional breakdown series tomorrow with the NFC East and the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. So that'll be a fun one to break down. Obviously, very close and personal to us. I wonder what we're going to say. Not biased. This is purely just analysis.
I won't lie, though. I still don't have my order set for how I think the other teams play out in this division.
I like it. I'll tell you this. I know we are a week away from opening night, which means we're like 10 days away from that Sunday slate. But one of my other favorite bets of the week, and I know Terry signs, so Terry's going to be there, so that does change things a little bit. But maybe it makes the line go up. I don't know. Russ and the Giants against the Commanders, week 1, man, +6.5 or +7 could be interesting. Like that Giant defense, if Russ can just manage the game and not turn the ball over, like that Washington defense is, I don't know what people think they are, bro.
Yeah,
like,
it's interesting.
The last time we saw them on a football field, they gave up 55 points in the biggest game of their lives. And then they responded to that. Javon Kinlaw's cool, but they also responded to that by bringing in Von Miller and bringing back Bobby Wagner. And Zach Ertz is there. And, like, they're 100 years old. And they trade Brian Robinson. They trade Brian Robinson Jr. Like, this team, we'll talk about it tomorrow. I got a lot to get off my chest when it comes to the Eagles, the Cowboys, and Jerry Jones, and the Washington Commanders. But that team, for my money, is the most overhyped team in the National Football League this year.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I would have to. We'll take a good look at all the teams tomorrow after after we get done. But yeah, I think they have to be up there for contention for the most.
For sure.
Overrated.
Guys, that is going to do it for the AFC East breakdown. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, share it, like it, whatever you got to do to help us continue to grow the community. It's free. It's YouTube, guys. For myself, for Scotty, for DSM Media, enjoy the rest of your day.